So here we are. We're going to talk about the angel. We're going to start with the Seraphim, the first choir. These angels are considered godly servants. These angels exist in the third heaven. If you don't know, you have your first heaven, which is where we see the birds fly. You have your second heaven, which is where the stars are. Then you have the third heaven, which is where God exists. These angels exist in the third heaven, in God's abode, where God's presence dwells and his throne is. These angelic beings, they carry out God-given tasks. They tend to the throne of God. And these seraphims were so interesting to me because they wouldn't let nothing in the presence of God that wasn't clean. Seraphim mean the burning ones. Hallelujah. The fiery ones. Hallelujah. The closest angels to God. They exist directly next to the throne of God. They're responsible for the throne room of God, and they constantly sing praises. Isaiah said, I saw the Lord high and lifted up, and his train filled the room. And then he says, above him was these seraphims. These seraphims each had 6 wings. He said 2 of them covered their face, 2 covered their feet, and 2 they moved with. And now, does that sound like a little cherubim with a little bow? It don't sound like Cupid. It's really something to think about. The stuff we see, the stuff you're really gonna see when you're dealing with God can have you afraid. What does the angel, every time an angel stepped into a room to deal with a person, what does he say? Be not afraid. Be of good cheer. The reason why these angels had these wings, this is really good. They need to, the wings were used to filter the glory of God. They had to filter the glory of God. They had to filter here you have the seraphims, the fiery ones. The half people can't even look upon themselves, but they had to have wings to filter the glory of God so that they wouldn't be blind. They had to have wings to filter their feet, the light of the glory that was going on the throne, so that their feet wouldn't even be burned. The Bible declares that God is a consuming fire. He's a consuming fire. So that means everything can't hang out with him. He's a consuming fire. And their face and their feet could be consumed by the holiness and the radiancy that came from the throne of God. They were created to be in the presence of God, and they still couldn't handle the full glory of God. Still couldn't handle it. That's how bad God is, y'all.